Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station, coming to you from the Nelson and Tasman region. In today's news, Te Hunanui Clearway changes to full-time parking, man who strangled partner to serve minimum of 15 years, police out in force in Nelson this Christmas New Year, and protest flotilla crewman returns home. Triumph for the Te Hunanui business community and wider community with the announcement by NZTA and Nelson City Council on Wednesday this week, Te Hunanui Clearway will change back to full-time car parking. NZTA and Council has agreed to a moratorium of 4 years on the use of the southbound Clearway at the Te Hunanui intersection on State Highway 6, making way for full-time parking. Since October 2007, the lane south of Bisley Avenue has operated as a part-time clearway in the peak hours and car parking at all other hours. The north side, which is served as a through and left turn lane, will become a left turn only lane. Both organisations acknowledge the clearway was originally introduced to assist with the ongoing capacity issue at that intersection during afternoon peak travel times. However, the clearway has also caused a safety concern for users of the car parks and merging traffic. Nelson City Council will be working on a long-term parking solution for the Te Hunanui commercial area. NZTA, New Zealand Transport Agency Acting Highways Manager Nelson, Mark Owen, says this change back to full-time car parking will mean afternoon peak hour commuters will continue to experience some delays that the clearways was originally designed to reduce. Mark Owen says the interim change is about providing an appropriate balance for the many users of this busy transport and retail corridor. He says they want to strike a fair balance between the needs of both the local community and motorists, and they're very pleased to have reached agreement on a way forward with Nelson City and the Te Hunanui Business Association. Chair of the Te Hunanui Business Association, Mike Thomas, says they're delighted with the agreement to take some immediate steps to improve the safety at the intersection at the heart of the community. Meanwhile, Te Hunanui Community Centre spokesperson Judy Robinson says she believes the community has really been heard by Council and NZTA, and the Community Centre is thrilled with the decision.
I think it certainly had a big influence on the decision. Yeah, I think the people have been listened to, and NZTA have certainly responded along with the council.
Fantastic. And it's not just about, the parking being returned and, the Te Hunanui businesses benefiting. It's all about safety, isn't it?
Very much so. For the community it is. Now they will have much safer access to the medical centre and the other essential services such as the blood lab there and the pharmacy. And we do have an ageing population in Te Hunanui, and they really do need to be able to access these essential services.
Michael William Becker walked into the Nelson Police Station on March 12, 2012 to inform police there was a body in a van outside the station. He appeared in court the next day and in October this year pleaded guilty to the murder of his former partner, Lisa Marie Corbett, who was aged 37 years. At the Spooner Range lookout south of Nelson, Becker strangled the mother of three in the vehicle while her then 5-year-old daughter was also in the van. In the High Court in Nelson on Wednesday this week, it was determined Becker will serve a minimum of 15 years in jail. It's understood there was an angry confrontation by Lisa Corbett's relatives as they made their impact statements. In the lead up to the festive season, local police will be out in force to curb alcohol offending, while the rest of the population is thinking about work parties and Christmas functions. And they'll be doing everything possible to ensure people stay safe and live to enjoy the new year. This weekend, police across New Zealand and Australia will hold a joint campaign to address alcohol-related crime and violence. Operation Unite will run on Friday the 13th of December and Saturday the 14th of December and demonstrates the united determination of Australasian police to challenge antisocial behaviour and alcohol misuse. Nelson man Scott Davison was on the protest boat Friendship, which was one of the 6 boats involved in the protest flotilla off the west coast, when the US-owned Noble Bob Douglas drilling ship arrived and is now currently undertaking deep-sea sample test drilling. The yacht Vega held its ground initially with the arrival of the Anadarko rig, staying approximately 200 metres away from the drilling boat. Among the Vega crew was Greenpeace director Bunny McDiarmid and former Green Party co-leader Jeanette Fitzsimons on board. The recent law changes has meant that it is now illegal for any protest boat to interfere with or damage oil exploration ships, including getting within 500 metres of a ship, such as the Noble Bob Douglas, with a declared non-interference zone. Protesters entering the zone could be fined $10,000. The Vega was within 200 metres of the ship. The flotilla left the area over a week ago, and we caught up with Nelson man Scott Davison this week to find out about whether the government has held up the law over the latest protest.
I went up from Nelson to represent the Nelson Group Clean Energy Action. We're a group working on renewable energy solutions to fossil fuel problems and climate change.
So you wanted to be proactive and voice your concerns about this drilling. You were in the boat that wasn't actually inside the zone. What has happened to the boat that was? Has there been any legal action?
Not that I'm aware of, no. And theoretically, by the sailing vessel Vega being in that 500 metre zone, they were breaking their own safety standards of drilling while another ship was within that safety zone.
Right, so the Anadarko arrived. What was the reception when they arrived?
First, we were all there waiting on the spot where they were planning to drill, and so they had to sort of force us out, but one boat, Vega, stayed there, and they were determined to hold that spot. And yeah, quite an impressive sight to see that tiny boat and with this ginormous oil rig. Yeah, so they were brave to stay there, but they didn't get, they stayed a safe distance away. Yeah.
So now I believe there's some court action taking place now that you're all back on land.
They've become aware that the oil response plan was not signed off by the EPA. It apparently was seen by Maritime New Zealand, but I don't think it's been ticked off by them either yet. And there was two other things that they really haven't completed everything required to begin drilling, and not necessarily their fault. Maybe it's the government's fault, but it's still not complete. So theoretically, the drilling shouldn't commence yet.
Right.
Yeah, the main problem is the deep sea oil drilling. It's so much more risky than the shallow stuff that's been going on in Taranaki for a long time. And it's more than 10 times the depth. It's more than 60% times more risky. So that's the main concern. But if you take climate change into account, scientists have already proven that the oil reserves we already have found, they cannot burn them all unless we want to, if we want to stop runaway climate change and getting over that 4 degrees and not being able to stop it.
Right, 4 degrees isn't a lot, is it?
It's not a lot, no. And yeah, we've moved. I'm not sure how far we've moved now, but yeah, at the current forecast, by the end of the century, it'll be irreversible and set off other trigger events that make it much, much worse. And we heard how many people were out supporting, and I believe there was more than 7,000 people on different beaches around the country. And yeah, that was really inspiring for us and motivating, and yeah, it gave us the stamina to carry on out there. Yeah.
What brought you back in?
We felt that we had done as much as we could from out there. Once they had started drilling, the Vega didn't want to be in that 500 metre zone anymore. We wanted to be safely away, and once we learnt that all the requirements weren't fulfilled for the permit to really be issued, it was a case of coming back to land and supporting all the people that had been supporting us, and continue the fight from here.
Yeah. None of us want to see any horrible oil spills on our beaches. We had that with the Rena, and that was just a minor one. With a major company, who knows?
Yeah, it could be massive. It's been 1 billion litres spilled in the Gulf of Mexico over the years, and that would be disastrous here.
This company's been a part of that, I believe.
They were a 25% shareholder in the last Gulf of Mexico spill, but there's been 3 big ones over time, and many small ones. So, it's a constant risk.
Seems strange that we're allowing the drilling to happen without a backup plan if anything should go wrong.
Yeah, and not even a backup rig to drill a relief well if that was required, which they have all that infrastructure in the Gulf of Mexico, and it still took, many days to stop it. We would have to bring one from Asia, which seems crazy.
If you're off to Kaiteriterre for the holidays, people are advised to be patient and drive cautiously due to construction work that had restarted on the Motueka to Kaiteriterre road since finding a suitable solution to the engineering of the cliffside corner known as Pukekoikoi or Turner's Bluff. However, to ensure minimum disruption during the Christmas period, all work has been stopped from the 10th of December through to the 13th of January. TDC Program Delivery Manager Russell McEwen has stated that the work is expected to be due for completion by the 16th of April 2014. Work was originally halted over 12 months ago with the discovery of a historically significant Maori Pa site when work on the road had begun, which meant that the work had to be halted while stakeholders, the Historic Places Trust, local iwi, the landowners and others investigated the site. Now that the investigations have been completed, the resulting effect is the rerouting of the road 50 metres further inland than originally designed, and the Pa site has now been reassigned as a reserve. And finally, a young seal was discovered in the evening last week, lying in the middle of the road near the Ruby Bay Seaside Public Toilets pullover. A concerned local coaxed the seal to a safer area, putting it in the entrance of the Ruby Bay Public Toilet area where it was found, and went off looking for and was unable to find an adult mother seal. However, after Mainland showed a picture of the seal to native wildlife vet Mana Stratton, she believed this wee chap may have been a year old and weaned from its mother, and due to its poor condition, this young seal was likely alone and wasn't faring too well in the wild, appearing to be less than half the size it should have been. The rescuer, Damon Ward, phoned the DOC hotline and reached a call centre in the Wellington, and he asked that DOC arrange to pick up the seal pup. Upon returning the next day, the seal had gone. Mainland followed up with a call to Doc Nelson, who hadn't heard about the seal, and then we put through a call to the Motueka DOC office, who said that their duty ranger would have been notified, and that if the seal had been injured, he would have received vet treatment or otherwise released to a more suitable area away from traffic and predators like family dogs. And now, with the warmer weather and holiday season upon us, if people find any coastal native bird or sea life that are obviously in a distressed state, the After Hours Department of Conservation hotline phone number is 0800 DOC HOT, which is 0800 362 468, or the DOC office in Motueka within work hours is 03 528 1810. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region. For generations, Concrete and Metals Limited have been the trusted name in providing concrete materials and contracting services for all those large and small jobs, from landscaping to houses to driveways and right up to large subdivisions. Concrete and Metals, 99 King Edward Street, Motueka.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Oh, to be healthy. Lifestyle, diet and exercise, complemented with quality supplements, can provide you the insurance vital for your natural health and well-being. With over 10 years professional experience making some of New Zealand's most trusted nutritional supplement brands, visit the O2B Healthy Factory Outlet in Wakatu Industrial Estate. Over 200 supplements to choose from, free on-site parking, no middleman.
O2B Healthy, caring for you naturally.
Waimea Telecommunications, specializing in free-to-air digital television, internet broadband connections, telephone and telecommunications systems. Call Julian Toon at Waimea Telecommunications on 544-4203.
Sit and Be Fit is on the Victory Community Centre on Tuesdays and the Victory Community Church on Thursdays at 10 a.m. School term only. Fun while you get fitter, work at your level. For more information, please contact Shirley on 547 1433 or 021 121 8023. Free community dinner. Join in for a healthy, nutritious meal for the whole family. Every Friday night at 5:30 p.m. in the Victory Community Centre, number 2 Totra Street. For more information and bookings, text Martin on 021 051 5664. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thanks for joining us. We'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
The Pillars of Creation, one of the most spectacular pictures ever taken of the cosmos. It's part of the Eagle Nebula, where stars are born. A dying star in the Cat's Eye Nebula. Another in the Hourglass Nebula. Masterpieces from the Hubble Space Telescope. Seeing deep into space is to do with gathering light. The human eye does it by collecting light through a lens. This it brings to a focus on the retina at the back. But for a cosmic view, only a telescope gathers sufficient light. This telescope collects light with a mirror, bounces it to a smaller one, then to a third, and finally to a focal point at the side. But the clouds and dust of Earth's atmosphere impair the sight of even the most powerful telescope. The Keck telescope is halfway through the atmosphere at over 4,000 meters on Hawaii. But atmospheric turbulence causes images to shimmer. It's like looking through water. In the Canary Islands, the Herschel telescope is perched way above the clouds. So too the VLT, high in the Chilean Andes. The initials stand for the Very Large Telescope. 4 separate mirrors, each 8.2 meters wide, and each mounted on anti-distortion supports. They compensate for any flexing of the huge mirrors as they're turned toward different points of the sky. Pin-sharp pictures from the VLT. But for the very best observing, there's nowhere like the clarity of space. 1990 and the launch of the Hubble Space Telescope from the shuttle. Deployed by the shuttle's robot arm, astronauts gently place the telescope in Earth orbit. A $2 billion eye in the sky, 600 kilometers above the planet. Free of the atmosphere, Hubble is to have the sharpest view of the universe. It's to see 10 times finer detail than telescopes on Earth and to be 30 times more sensitive to light. That light is focused by 2 mirrors, then analyzed by 5 special instruments to the rear. But there's a problem. The center of the big mirror is too shallow. It means that light is arriving at 2 focal points instead of 1. Hubble's images are fuzzy, although computer correction helps sharpen them. From this to this. But despite the problem, there are triumphs. At the pivot of 2 galactic jets, Hubble identifies a massive black hole. The Andromeda Galaxy, and evidence that it once consumed another. Hubble discovers a double core. In the Whirlpool Galaxy, it spies a suspected black hole. And here, the remnant of a supernova. But Hubble needs a fix. December 1993, a shuttle crew suits up for the job. Hubble is grappled into the cargo bay. The first task is to replace the telescope's power supply, the solar arrays. They've caused a wobble. One array is furled for return to Earth. The other, which won't retract, is simply floated away. Hubble is designed to be serviced in space, but this is a major reconstruction. The new arrays look like rolled-up window blinds. They're secured to the telescope and unfurled. And now for the big fix. Riding the robot arm, this cosmic repairman opens the doors of the main instrument bay. Hubble is the size of a school bus, the instruments as big as telephone booths. Out here you can't forget your tools. A complete kit is mounted at the end of the arm. The objective is to install optics that correct the distortion of the main mirror. The least useful of Hubble's instruments, a light measuring device, is removed. It makes space for the corrective module. Next, the replacement of the camera that does 50% of Hubble's science. The astronauts work half the time by spotlight, for the telescope orbits Earth every 95 minutes, moving rapidly from light to dark. The new camera has its own built-in corrective optics, plus improved detectors. Thanks to the astronauts, the mission is a resounding success. An error, 1/50th the width of a human hair, is corrected. Hubble has 20/20 vision. For the Space Shuttle program, this is its finest hour. With new spectacles, Hubble fulfills its potential. The corrective optics work like a dream. Tiny mirrors, no bigger than a thumbnail, compensate for the distortion of the primary mirror. They bring incoming light to a perfect focus. Mars in exquisite detail. Even remote Neptune has features. But Hubble is best with deep space. Here, L-shaped images piece together the Orion Nebula, a vista of starbirth. These are clusters of hot young stars. And this, the debris of a supernova. Hubble's view of the Lagoon Nebula. And a galaxy in unprecedented detail. The Egg Nebula in ordinary light and infrared. One galaxy through two instruments, gas jetting from the core. Watch the power of Hubble as it penetrates a single spot in the sky, a region uncluttered by the stars of our galaxy or galaxies close by. Deeper and deeper. Finally, we're looking at some of the most distant galaxies ever seen, 4 billion times fainter than the limits of human vision. Hubble is unveiling the universe as never before.
Hi, I'm Graham from Classic Gates Engineering. We specialise in all sorts of engineering, classic gates, balustrades, pool fences, do structural engineering, house lots of structural steel work, swimming pool fences. We also do firebox repairs, garden furniture, archways, etc. So for powder coating, sandblasting, all sorts of paint work, call in to see us, 6 Nelson Street, Blenheim, Classic Gates Engineering.
If you have a complaint about any program on Mainland TV, you can write to Mainland Broadcasting, Box 595 Nelson, or contact the Broadcasting Standards Authority.